This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to look at the Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Terror Claw Skeletor. This is one I've actually been excited about, to be perfectly honest, ever since I saw the way they did the head. The head sculpt on this one just looks amazing from what I've seen. So hopefully it ends up being that way when we actually open it up. On the front, we see Skeletor is actually fighting against, it looks like, probably King Hiss, or at least Snakes at the very least. When we turn sideways, we see what looks like Snake Tower from the Eternia playset and Cobra Khan. And on the other side, we just got another shot of Terror Claw Skeletor and his head. And on the back, we have the product shots. I'm kind of confused here because it kind of makes it look like there might actually be an action feature involved with this guy. But I imagine there isn't because there wasn't with the Flying Fist He-Man. Also, the sad thing is it kind of looks like there's no image without the visor on him. So it's kind of looking like that doesn't come off either, which is going to be a real letdown. But we've got here Terror Claw Skeletor, the evil claw-swinging leader, the diabolical lord of destruction, crafted the only weapon that will allow him to stand nose to nose in melee battle with He-Man. The dreaded Terror Claws. As part of this wave, we do have the Terror Claw Skeletor, the Ninjor, and the She-Ra for New Etheria, apparently. And I haven't gotten her yet. She got ordered from Walmart because Walmart had that and the vintage fake are up for sale as part of their Walmart con, collector con thing, whatever. And if I'd known that she was going to be available elsewhere, I would have ordered her elsewhere. Because I hate Walmart. Let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, just note here. You may not be able to see this, but there's 2 rounds of tape on this thing, which makes me think that perhaps this was a QC one. So they, cut it open, or cut the tape open, pulled it out, and took a look at it. So this should be perfect quality. Should be. On the side of the inner packaging, we see everything it comes with. Skeletor, his little tentacles, and the Terror Claws themselves. Before we get too far, let's take a look at Skeletor here. Oops. And just to confirm, the helmet does not come off. Ooh, wait, but hold on. Yes, the visor does in fact come off, so we can get a good look at his head sculpt. His jaw also opens and closes. That I was not expecting, although that does look a little bit weird. Although I guess that is how a skull head would actually work, though, isn't it? There wouldn't be anything back there, would there? Yeah, I do think that this is one of the better head sculpts that they've given us for Skeletor. I think it's kind of scary looking. When it comes to my display, I might actually keep this off of there. But yeah. The side view is not very interesting. But there we go. Let's go ahead and put this back in place. Or see if we can. Just because I can get it off doesn't necessarily mean I can get it on. Go back to that video where I did the one Skeletor and took his hood off. Well, then once we get it back on there, it's not as interesting in my opinion because it's too dark. You can't really see much. So yeah, I think that's going to be something that's going to be better with that out of there. They did give him more of the tech organic body type, like what we would see for the new Adventure Skeletor. He's also got very much mechanical looking feet here instead of his usual like regular open clawed feet. So yeah. That really can't be comfortable to wear if that's actually a boot. Kind of makes you wonder if he is actually, because even like the skirt piece is kind of like, seems more mechanical in design, like metallic or whatever. So as I was saying, it does make you wonder if he's supposed to have been partially taken over by like a by tech. Yeah, by tech. Let's pop his harness off, maybe. He is just using He is just using the standard chest pieces, chest and torso pieces. So no technical detailing under there. But he is still basically wearing the sports bra of the original design. Although this looks a little bit more badass than his other sports bra. Inside the Terror Claws, you might not actually be able to see that with the light. Maybe a little bit better here. He's got a peg hole, so you have to take his fists off in order to put these on. By the way, the Terror Claws themselves have some pretty interesting design here. Kind of looking like a dragon head with mechanical parts coming into it. And they're pretty wicked looking. It is a soft plastic, though, so supposedly less dangerous than hard plastic. Though I'm still pretty sure you can poke an eye out. Okay, looks like this goes in the back here. And then this plugs in up here this way. I'm not really sure this is technically necessary with a weapon like the Terror Claws, but, you know, whatever. And no, there is no action feature with this still. It also very much seems to be hindering his articulation. Because we will do the articulation with the claws in place. Because let's be honest, we pretty much know what the articulation is going to be without the claws in place. But yeah. I do think, as far as the way this looks, this is quite possibly the best designed Terror Claw Skeletor we've gotten. And it is too bad that they did not do this sort of thing with the Origins line. I know they're just trying to replicate the old toys, but setting it up so that you could just pull the fists out and replace them with these, they would hold on so much better. And that would have been a much better design. Because I'm not against them improving the way some of the features work in these toys when they redo the Origins. I mean, they already took out the action features to give us most of the action features in order to give us the ability to take them apart and rearrange pieces. So doing an improvement like this on something like the Terror Claws actually would have been the way for them to go. But articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. We can spin it around. We already discussed that his mouth has a hinge. You can look down a little bit. He can look up very little because the back of the helmet kind of interferes with that. But he can look side to side. We can spin the arm around. However, as expected, the tube from his back to the Terror Claws is going to get bunched up in there. In fact, you can kind of see here that just having it in there already kind of malforms it a bit. We can hinge up and down as per normal. We can spin at the bicep. Again, with the Terror Claws in place, you're probably not going to get a 360 on that bicep. Or you almost, actually, I guess you can technically get a 360. It's just you can't go past the 360. Since it is a peg down there, you can spin the Terror Claw wrist part. I suppose the one thing is just the end of the handles are way huge, so maybe if they had pulled that in a little bit, I think that would have looked better. And while he does have the double jointed elbows, you don't get much movement out of it with the Terror Claws in place. Like, that's the best we can do. He has a boob cut, so we can shake that all about. We have a spin at the waist, which does not affect anything, or affected by anything. We have drop down hips. We can kick out and do a nice set of splits here. We can kick forward that far with even with the skirt interfering, because the skirt does not have like a cut going up to the belt like a lot of them do. And we can kick back about that far before his butt gets in the way. See, look at that butt. Look at that butt. We have the thigh cut. Whoa. And we still have double jointed knees. Spin at the boot. The feet are kind of painful. We have a hinge down there and a spin. Like I said, I think without the mask, not without the mask, but without the visor, I think he looks much better without the visor than with the visor. I think that looks stupid. But I guess that probably works as a heads-up display for him, so I guess I can see why he'd have it. I just don't think it looks good. But other than that, as far as the Terraclaw Skeletor designs that we have gotten thus far, this one is king, okay? I do think the one other improvement that they could have gone with on this guy would have been just to give us a torso that matched the color of the rest of this, so it looks like he's wearing a tank top instead of a sports bra. The wires do look cool. Not practical, but they do look cool. The claw design is excellent. They did a pretty good job, with the deco here. We do have some black here and there and some highlighting. It is definitely a metallic kind of a blue. So we got some shine there, metallic purple. Even the rubber has like that metallic-y sheen, though that's probably in the plastic there. So yeah. Skeletor here just rocks. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this Terraclaw Skeletor? Do you think he is the king of the Terraclaw Skeletors? And if you don't, well, too bad, he is. But this is definitely a nice add to your collection of, especially if you like Skeletor. I think this is a good one to add. He is a near perfect variation on this concept. Like I said, I do kind of think they should have probably made these a little tighter on him. But, I know why they didn't. It's because they wanted the movement, right? Not that you can actually really, not that there's articulation inside there with the wrist, aside from being able to spin it on there. But I think a little bit tighter might have been good. Maybe a little bit shorter so it didn't interfere with the actual elbow articulation. But still, like, just the look of this guy, especially without the mask, which is a pain to get on and off. This sucks because I'm going to have to take pictures of this later. There we go. But this head sculpt is pretty awesome too. And he looks pretty good. The only thing missing would have been to use like a metallic paint on his eyes so that there's some shine in his actual pupils, right? Other than that, like, magnificent. But again, just let me know what you guys think. Is this one that you want? Are you planning on buying it? Hey, I especially want to know if my showing you this makes you want to buy it. But if you enjoyed this review and you think this, especially if you think this is the king of Terraclaws, claw that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense, you can subscribe. I would appreciate that. I'm hoping to hit like 750 by the end of the year. And we got a long way to go. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.